various challenges that we have of injustices, political, economic, environmental, and how to work together in community is one of the biggest challenges of our time. In the world in which we are living, where we live on the pocket sphere with our iPhones and our phones, where we live in silos, we talk only to the people that we like, we have our bubbles of truth. It's very difficult to mobilize. But it does require more work, it does require making connections, and we need to understand what is it in it for me and for my children and for my family, but for all of us. So we need to develop a sense of community. The challenges for this is that we have to work across sectarian boundaries, across religious boundaries. That makes us stronger. If only Christians go out, people would say, well, it's a Christian issue, or the Hindu's God is a Hindu issue. What we really need is that all different communities need to work together. This requires alliances, and that means that different religious groups must work together, different ethnic and language groups must work together. There are precedents for this in the Islamic past. The Prophet Muhammad, on whom be peace, before he was a prophet, already engaged in a lot of work of social upliftment, social organization, helping the poor, helping the widows, and transforming society and working in the common good. That is known in Islamic history as the Alliance of the Virtuous. And the people that were involved in the Alliance of the Virtuous were people that we would call today unbelievers and polytheists. And the Prophet, after many years, reflected on that experience of his, and he said, if I had the opportunity to do that, I would do it again. In other words, after he became a prophet and advancing the values of Islam, he did not see any kind of incongruence, any kind of contradiction between the good in Islam and the good in pre-Islam. Ousting a dictator from Iraq has not led to stability in Iraq. Similar things in Syria. So I think the actions we take in order to combat political injustice must be calibrated and thought through very carefully whether we will achieve our objectives. That the tools that we use and the instruments we use to make the world better can really make the world better. It's better to sometimes negotiate. It's better sometimes to use non-violence. They either become subject to the victimhood and become victims themselves, that, our brethren in those parts of the world have been killed, or they become emotional and say, I want to pack up and go there and fight in that theater. The Syrian people don't require any fighters. What they do require is help for those who have been displaced. So one must think about the best and constructive way of helping going forward. These adding more to the destructive practices can only lead to greater destruction. What we really need to work through our governments all over the world, through our governments domestically and internationally, and through international coalitions, say the war must stop. The people must talk to each other. And that should be not encouraging warfare, not encouraging sending more people there to engage in activities as if some magical solution will come. Even if we have peace, even if the guns stop blazing, the road to stability and the road to peace in Syria is going to be decades, not days, not months. It's going to be a hard task of rebuilding, and we don't know what is going to be the future. But so therefore, the do-gooders mustn't throw emotional fuel on the fire. What the world needs is their prayers. What the world needs is their own stability, that they can find wisdom and constructive outcomes and not destructive outcomes. And that requires thinking and not emotionality. Yes, it is emotional to see children be killed. It is emotional to see human beings being destroyed. But it does require a certain amount of wisdom.